Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ, and welcome to the recruiting special here in the CTU Lions Dynasty. We are 3 games into the season, but before hopping into our recruiting special, how about we take a look at Oakland College and TCU? This is Oakland College's first Big 12 action, so we will see what they do versus undefeated number 8 TCU. So early on in the game, here is Archibald, who is their star quarterback. Bishop Archibald is a senior as well, as he hands off to Jordan James, who is their star running back as a sophomore. He picks up a gain of 8 right there on the opening drive. Now here's a short throw to the left side, incomplete. Oakland is our rivals here in this series. We will see what they can do here in action as they face their first real in-conference tough opponent. As here's a handoff up the middle, Rose Smith on the tackle that time, and a short field goal by TCU will give Oakland good field position. Here's Archibald throwing to the right side. It's a touchdown. Sean Britton gets in 46 yards out, and Oakland taking a 10-0 lead here at home. But here is TCU roaring back. Handoff up the middle. It's on the ground. Oakland will pick it up and recover the football for the first turnover of the game. Comes by way of Isaiah Washington at safety. He forces the fumble on that one. And here comes Oakland in the second quarter. Archibald throwing across the middle. That's an open man. Liam McFall's gain of 32. That is a big first down throw. They eventually get it inside the 5. Here's a throw to the end zone. Owen Nathan, 3 yards out for the touchdown. And they will take the comfortable 17-point lead. They are going for the upset. Here's a throw before the end of the half. This is intercepted by Oakland. The second turnover of the game here. That is O'Dealy playing defense right there. And he does show up for this defense and stop that drive there at the end of the first half, and Oakland goes into halftime up 17. But on to the second half, a tale of 2 halves. Here is TCU coming back in this one. They score once. Now on to the fourth quarter, 3 minutes to go. Here's a throw to the end zone. This one's caught at the 1 by Brian Schultz. We'll see if they can punch it in from the 1. They line it up 5 wide out here. Oakland sends the pressure, but a wide open man is Corey Clark for the 2-yard touchdown pass. And now it's just a 3-point game. TCU gets one more shot here with about a minute left here in this game. Here's a handoff. They call their second timeout of the half. 30 seconds left. Here's a throw across the middle. Another completion. They just need to tie this game, but they do have enough time to possibly win. 20 seconds and counting. A blitz off the left edge. Throw to the sideline. Picked off by Oakland. And that one will end this game. And how about the comeback here from TCU? But it was just short in the end. And Oakland gets the 3-point victory here at home to open up Big 12 play 1-0. Bishop Archibald is going to be the player of the game on offense. Isaiah Washington with the forced fumble on defense. And what a game. At home versus number 8 TCU, that's no easy feat. So now we get into the nitty gritty. Here is our recruiting special here for your Colorado Tech Lions. And you can just see right away, you know, this game generates players. So our players have been mostly from Texas and California, but we are just going to be recruiting in the state of Colorado throughout this series. Now, we're going to go over some recruits in Colorado, and I'm going to show you, you know, it's not going to be easy to recruit. And the reason why that's going to be is because we're not going to be a top recruiting school unless the CPU generates good recruits out of Colorado each year, besides the ones that we create. Here are the top guys. The top 5 guys in the state of Colorado are all custom recruits. After that, the top guy is Pittman, and he's a 3-star, 336 ranked in the nation. So you can already see the draft or the prospect pool coming out of Colorado is not going to be very good unless some years we have a 4-star sprinkled in there, maybe even a 5-star sprinkled in there. Who knows? But I'm not sure what the rules are going to be just yet. But right now it's going to be that I can go after custom recruits up to a 3-star and non-custom recruits up to a 2-star. Now, I might elevate that to make it so that I can recruit anybody in Colorado, just strictly based off of the fact that we will not have great recruits that are generated by the CPU in Colorado. But I might have that so I can go after any CPU generated recruit in Colorado, but then I can only go after the 3-star for the custom recruits in Colorado as well. But as we get up in our prestige, we will definitely expand that to go after better recruits as well. So that won't always be restricted to 3-star custom recruits, but for now, that's what it's going to be. So no JUCOs as well as we hop into our recruiting board. At the top, is there any question what position we should go after? Offensive line has definitely been very, very bad. First is Sean Wyatt, a guard out of Colorado, obviously. But all these guys are going to be playing at real high school. So you want to just keep an eye out for these high schools. I will show high school games throughout this season, and this is just the start of it. So you definitely don't want to blink and miss anything with high schools and their stories. So I definitely will, cover high school football in this series. And Sean Wyatt out of Fort Collins High, he is our top guy on the board. We are second on the board, but hopefully we can move up with him. Flynn Steele is number 2. Now, Flynn Steele is an awesome receiver. He is athletic out of Cherry Creek High School, and he's going to be one of those guys that we really want to get. We are second on his list right now, but the thing that he brings to our table is just that dynamic playmaking. He is mostly a returner, but obviously in high school he did play receiver, but I think in the college game, at least right away, he's going to be a better returner than he is as a receiver. And hopefully I can start getting Mookie Richardson involved in the offense. We need that athleticism besides Kentrell Kraft. We will have to see, but I like Flynn Steele a lot. Now, he is going to be a guy that's going to come in and compete right away. So hopefully, the veterans aren't really bothered by having a guy that comes in there and may take their spot right away. But first, we have to get him on the team. We are second with him in recruiting, and we're about 900 points back from, I believe that's Indiana. So that will be, actually that's Utah. What am I saying? It will be interesting to see if we can catch up with them. Now let's talk quarterback here. And Lionel is our top quarterback prospect out of Regis Jesuit, and he is a pretty good dynamic quarterback. Now he needs some work though. So I don't know if he's going to play year 1. It's probably likely that he won't because we have BJ Johnson and Jack Solom, who are both juniors. And then we'll have to have another guy we can groom in the future, and it just might be Lionel. Now, he can run. He likes to run with the football a whole lot from the shotgun. You can see him take off out of the pocket on pretty much every throw. That's just what he does. He's going to have to learn to be more in the pocket, but he is a shifty guy. He can play a little running back as well if you really needed to, but he is going to be a good player. I would say he's going to need some work, especially with his accuracy. So we will have at least 1 year to sit him and see what he can do in his sophomore campaign. But I really like what he brings to the table. Now we are ahead with him by a whole lot. We are not going to unlock any of the attributes until they commit to a school. So once they commit to a school, we will unlock their attributes. Now, right now, the guy that's closest to committing to our school is Nnamdi Ugana Okafor. Remember that name. I think this guy's going to be pretty good for us. He also went to Fort Collins High. He is a guy that gets after the football. He is a big hitter. Watch out for him going after the football. He could force some turnovers with his big hits. He's definitely a liability in coverage, though. So that's maybe something that we will have to address with him and maybe hide him, disguise him, things like that. So we'll see. He does have the athleticism to be a good player. But, he's going to need some work, just like every other prospect needs work going from high school to college. So I like his athleticism. I like his big hitter abilities, and I think that he's going to be a pretty good weapon on this defense. Now, we are ahead by a whole lot. He's close to committing. I would say he probably will commit in the next couple of weeks, so we'll have to see about that. Now, at tight end, we have Benedict Johnson, another guy that I am looking to add just as a weapon on the offense. I have struggled to find another weapon besides Kentrell Kraft. And maybe that weapon is still yet to come. Who knows? But Benedict Johnson is an athletic tight end. He may be a little bit of a liability in blocking situations, but out of Fort Collins High, they ran a lot of spread offense. So he didn't really have to block a whole lot. But he's a guy that I can add into the offense, and hopefully he will be a plug-and-play type of guy. We have a couple of guys at the tight end position who are good. We have Brian B.J. Johnson, who is a good route runner, but not as athletic. Then we have Mike Marone, who is kind of that safety blanket. I compare him to kind of Jason Witten-like. Now, Benedict Johnson, like I said, is going to be athletic. We'll see if he can be a good blocker at the next level, but he will have to develop that skill. Now, moving on to the middle of our board, we have a couple of guys here that I want to note quickly. Justin Caputo, a good special teams guy, a kicker that we will rely on. I definitely need a kicker of the future. Emil Rivero is a 3-star prospect out of Pueblo, and he is pretty good. I mean, he's pretty well-rounded, but we'll see if we have a chance to get him. I mean, we're kind of behind in recruiting, so we will have to see how far we can drag this two-man races between us and NIU. And then there's Clayton Garrett, a 1-star tight end who I really, really like, but he's just a 1-star. We'll see how good he ends up being. It says right now he's at 49 overall. I'm not sure if he'll come in that low, but I guess we'll have to wait and see how good he's going to be. But the top 15 guys on our board are all custom recruits, so you just want to keep that in mind. Sometimes I forgot to put the Y on the end, and I put the Y there so that if they do go to other teams, I won't have to go and edit them. We will know exactly where they're at. If they join our team, we will remove that Y, obviously, also. So back to quarterback, and it's definitely a position where I definitely need a guy for the future. And the difference between Lionel and guys like we'll see later with Chase Foster and now David Potter is that David Potter is an absolute pocket passer. He's not going to move at all. He's a statue quarterback. And that's something that we may have to get over the hurdle with him with. And I just don't know what type of offense we could run with him. Obviously, we'd have to change a lot. Pretty much no option, no rollouts. He's not going to burn a lot of people with his feet. Let's just put it that way, put it nicely. But he is an excellent thrower of the football. That's the trade-off that you get. He will make the accurate throws. He can throw to all levels of the field. Excellent passer. But he's just not mobile. As you see right here on this play, trying to get away from the defense, he just knows he's not athletic enough to run to the outside, so he doesn't even try. But he can make all the throws. Don't make any mistake about it. And maybe he can work on his speed in college. Who knows? But I think getting him that training, that athletic training, will definitely help. We'll see. He is a good player out of Valor Christian High School, but we'll have to see. James Wilkins is a decent cornerback. He is pretty much an all-around guy. He can also tackle pretty well. We don't have any of his ratings unlocked, obviously, but we'll see because I just don't know what our secondary is looking like right now. We're playing good, not great. So we'll have to see how that holds up as the season progresses. I can definitely see what our offense is lacking, but not so much on defense because we had a couple of good games, but then there's games where we're like, oh, I don't know if we can blame that on the defense or not. So just keep that in mind. Now we move on to the better prospects that we have as custom recruits, and these are the guys that we are not eligible to go after. So we're talking about Matthew West here at defensive end. He is the number 2 defensive end in the country. He comes in at 72 overall with his ratings not unlocked. Then there's Chase Foster, who is out of Aurora, Colorado. He is very, very good. We'll probably see a game of his this season. Behind 2,700 points, but we're not going after anybody. But going to Nebraska, it looks like. So maybe one day we'll schedule Nebraska. We'll see one of our former recruits and custom recruits going to Nebraska. Now, moving on to defensive tackle here, we have good defensive tackles here at CTU, and I'm not really too worried. But how about Nebraska loading up on Colorado recruits? Jonathan Santos looks like he is leaning towards Nebraska. He is a 4-star prospect. He has excellent hands, excellent power. He has a good base, and I'm kind of sad that I'm missing out on him because I think he could be a playmaker for us, even though defensive tackle isn't really a big need for us. Then there's the top outside linebacker in the nation with 4-star prospect Smoke Wyatt. Now, we're going to see some smoke here in this series, probably. He goes to Smoky Hill High School. I'm not sure where he will commit, but the guy can just straight up ball. And you can just see right here, if you get the football, you better keep an eye on 45 because you're not going far. As you can see right here, fullback out of the backfield. He turned and then smokes right in his face. I mean, that is the thing. Look at this handoff right here. Number 46 is right in the middle. Wide open hole. Smoke Wyatt closes it instantly. Look at that. Just getting after the football. This guy is amazing. He's going to be an excellent college player. I have no doubt about that. Now, right now, because of how this game is, for some reason they're not going after him, but we can't. We're not eligible. But we are top on his board. And like I said, in the future, I could change this if it shows like this after 5 weeks that we're still number 1 for a 4-star prospect. Maybe we will go after him. Who knows? But right now, I'm just going to let Smoke Wyatt decide where he wants to go. Then we talk about one of the top receivers in the country in JD Crabtree, and he is amazing. There's one word to describe JD Crabtree, and I'm just going to say it. It's transcendent. He is a transcendent talent. Now, the one thing that is funny about this is that he is a teammate to Lionel, who is one of our top prospects on the board. But Lionel maybe is a lower recruit because scouts think that he benefited from playing with JD Crabtree. But Crabtree is very good. Look at the route running. I mean, just amazing. I don't know where he's going to go, but wherever he's going, he's going to make a coach really, really happy. And he's going to be very good in the future. So we'll have to keep an eye out on him. So now we get into the guys that are non-custom recruits. So we definitely want to keep an eye out on them. And we are pretty much open to, like I said, 2 stars or lower. I might change that because of how Colorado's recruits are not as good. But we'll have to see. These are the guys I have points on here at the bottom of our board here. And I've pretty much added everybody that we're eligible to go after. So there's about 22 guys total minus 5. So about 17 guys we're eligible to go after. Now, I didn't even talk about scholarships. Now, this is the last strike dynasty, meaning we are strapped for cash here. We have a lower budget, so we will only have 10 scholarships each season. So 10 scholarships, that's it. But if we schedule a non-conference out-of-state game on the road versus a ranked opponent, we get 1 scholarship. So basically the money we would get from an away game would pay for that scholarship. So this year we have 12 total scholarships. Now, I'm not sure if we will add guys if we do run out of guys to recruit at the end. Maybe not. Maybe we'll just be done with recruiting. We'll have to see. But right now we have 12 scholarships, all Colorado recruits, and these are our guys. We'll go over Mike Little, Chad Gray, Luke Burnett, Bobby Smith, and the last 3 guys on the board here, Adam Hayford, Calvin Smith, and Travis Hawkins in the future more as we get more information from them. But our custom recruits we know the most about at this point. So we will have to continue to scout at the high school level in the future of this series. So that will conclude the recruiting special. Let me know what you guys thought down in the comment section below. But as we look at our team and look forward, I think the question is who is going to be that next playmaker for this offense. Adrian Johnson is a candidate. Kentrell Kraft right now is in a league of his own, 24 receptions for 363. But who's going to help him out? He honestly, he surprisingly hasn't scored a touchdown yet, but he'll get there. But who's going to be the one to really step up? Adrian Shields is a good option. Brian B.J. Johnson, the tight end, will be a good option. I'm going to make sure I update his name. He has 76 catching, but only 58 speed. So that's the one thing. But his route running, we might have to get it to him on timing routes because he's not going to create much separation with his speed. So that's going to do it here. Let me know if you guys saw your recruit and what you think of the recruits. And let me know what you guys think of the rules as well. We all know the NCAA 14 is very easy to recruit in. So I need to restrict myself. And to make this a longer series, give it longevity, let me know what you think. Hit subscribe, hit that like button. We'll be back versus La Tech next episode. So stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.
Boy, all that like Keenan. Still got crack, they fiendin'. Flow still hot like Phoenix. Shine so bright, I'm gleaming. This off top, I'm tweaking. Fresh out the rat like Neiman. And I'm still tryna fight my demons. Cause we all gotta act like Tina. That's why I gotta ride with the Nina. Outside it's a war.